I do want to say that today's been instructive for me, but it does mark almost the 2-year anniversary of the petition we filed. And in that 2 years, we asked for a plan, and what we got back from the state was a process. So in some ways, we're closer than we've ever been to a bona fide breakthrough at the Salton Sea. But in other ways, we're very far away. There was a reason that an MOU was signed between Department of Interior and Natural Resources this summer. And that reason is in front of you today on this panel. It's the IID. Because a drought contingency plan for the lower Colorado River is only possible if your board takes action on a 10-year roadmap. And we've asked you to do it before the end of this year. And if you don't, and you might not want to take that on, I understand that. But if you don't, our agency will be precluded from participating in any solution to the elevation problem at Lake Mead. And that has far-reaching impacts in Southern California. And I would suggest to you, it touches on the water fix that you're struggling with in Northern California. Because anything that creates a disruption or uncertainty in Southern California can only create the same sort of angst on the Bay Delta problem. So what is it that we want? Well, we've been calling for a smaller but sustainable Salton Sea. And when I say sustainable, I'm not talking about the circle of life. I'm talking about a lake that won't make people sick. We filed that petition 2 years ago. We asked for a genuine sense of urgency, and the response from the state was to form a task force. And neither the task nor the force were sufficient to meet the scope of the problem. The truth is, and I say this with all due respect, at least to your board, the Salton Sea Task Force is dithered, and they've called it due diligence. They've treated this problem at the Salton Sea, which is a genuine problem. It's a ticking time bomb, and it's been treated as if it were a beach ball at a backyard picnic. But the Salton Sea is no picnic. It was suggested earlier today that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't see the light. I see a cave, and I think we're all stuck in it. And I think the only way we get out is if we see a 10-year roadmap as a pathway toward a light. If we don't embrace a 10-year roadmap, if the state can't commit to a 10-year roadmap, then the state cannot be trusted to be a reliable partner on the Salton Sea for a 75-year water transfer. Because the one thing that has not proceeded in fits and starts in this long process is the transfer of water. There's been no delay, no disruption. It's been a steady stream of delivery. So, the plan that Bruce outlined for you would be fine if it weren't so abstract. But it's missing metrics. It has no milestones. It has no prioritization, and it has no enforcement. So if he submitted it to you and you saw fit to memorialize it in the form of an order, we could all go home and Imperial County could say, you know what, we've got a partner. So I would simply close this way. It's not just a drought contingency plan and the nation's largest agricultural to urban water transfer that hangs in the balance at the Salton Sea. It's whether or not the state can be relied on. And at the outset of this last 2 years and the process we've all participated in, I was genuinely optimistic, and I am not anymore, I'm sad to say. So everybody has to make choices. Government agencies have to make choices. I think a choice has been made based on the record that the transfer of water is more important than the environmental crisis that we're faced with at the Salton Sea. So if that indeed has been the choice, someone ought to tell us, first of all. But if they're not going to tell us, then that leaves us with no choice. And we're going to have to act. So it'd be much better for everyone if you acted instead. And thank you for staying with this problem as long as you have, and I hope that you'll do the right thing.